I honestly have no clue what this episode's going to be on, but it's July 2nd, 4th of July weekend, and I know that there's going to be an episode on Monday, 4th of July, and I already have a plan for that one. That one, I'm basically going to go through all US holidays and give them underrated, overrated, because it's been a while since I've done one of those episodes. I think the last underrated, overrated was, let's check it out here. Underrated, overrated was just random. So that was on February 17th. And I personally enjoy like the kind of like themed or structured episodes. The underrated, overrated, the 1-5-10 challenge, and the one-word opinions. And honestly, I probably could do this episode on one-word opinions or the 1-5-10 challenge, but as of right now in this moment, I don't even know if I'm going to upload this because I have no idea what's going to come from it. But I just kind of thought like, I'm going to just hit record and see what happens. And like, if I end up coming up with some random thoughts that I'm going to expand on, then cool, we'll get an episode out of it. And if not, I'll just delete this, and then I'll probably like come up with an actual structured episode. But no, it's kind of funny because I was going back on past episodes, seeing like how this podcast has, I don't know, developed, if at all. And it's interesting to see like the first couple were pretty out there topics, right? And it wasn't until Christmas time that I decided that I'm going to do like you can call it a series, let's say. So it was the Christmas underrated, overrated. I had a lot of fun with that. I honestly don't know how that turned out in terms of like popularity, but let me just take a look here. The Christmas underrated, overrated, it was my third most listened to episode, but for me, like, it was a lot of fun. And I'm like, I think I got the idea from Gary V, and I'm like, I'm gonna just roll with it. And then the 1-5-10 challenge, again, I got that idea from this guy on Twitter that like is a graphic designer, and he did challenges where he was designing NBA jerseys in 1, 5, or 10 minutes. And that was super cool. And then the one-word opinions was literally, I think that's the only original idea I had. But since then, like it's kind of been this interesting mix for me where I'm doing those ones, which are like, again, like mini series basically. But then I also do these random episodes that I'm just talking about literally just random stuff. So one thing I wanted to say though, I don't know what episode this is, so bear with me here. I'm going to count the episodes. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So this will be episode 18. And if you're watching, you can see that I actually have an unpublished episode, which maybe for fun, I'll release that one. I'll give it another listen and just release it with the context of when it was made and the whole background behind that. But anyway, so this is episode 18. And I want to double check. Was this really episode? I wish it would show me what episode on Anchor here that I'm on, because I just counted. Now I have to go back and recount because I already forgot. I think it was 18. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So this right now, this here is episode 18. And I think it was, who was it? Somebody, I don't know, some random dude on TikTok was explaining that what was it? Like 3% of podcasts, it was like a very minuscule number, like we'll just say 3%. 3% of podcasts don't make it to episode 20. And out of that small fraction of ones that do, less than 1% makes it past episode 21 or something like that. So that's like kind of cool to know that basically what he had explained is if you get to episode 21, you are technically in the top 1% of all podcasts, because most just simply don't make it to episode 21. So I think that's kind of cool. And now that I'm really thinking about it, if this is episode 18 and I have another episode that's already pre-made, that not pre-made, but I recorded it months ago, but I really do want to upload that one, I think. That would be episode 19. Well, I told you 4th of July, I'm going to be doing underrated, overrated of holidays. So that would be episode 20. So then I just have one more, and then I can officially say I'm in the top 1% of all podcasts, which, I mean, again, we all know I'm only doing this just for my own entertainment, really. But it's funny to say that I'm in the top 1% of all podcasts, because, like, for those of you that listen, I think that's so cool. But, like, it's funny how you can skew something when my most listened to episode is 37 plays, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. That's funny. That's funny to me. But you know what? What I enjoy about this too is that it gives me another avenue or something to create YouTube videos. Because yes, they're not as high quality and they're honestly not edited at all, compared to when I was first trying to make YouTube videos. But like, again, I'm just doing it because I think it's fun. And not the previous episode talking about how I'm going to get back on Twitter, but the one before that about the Mandela effect. That one, I guess that's the most listened to episode, because I had 61 views on YouTube. So the 61 views on YouTube plus, let's see how many plays I had. Only 7 here from the actual podcast, and so nobody watching it. So that's 7 plus 61, that's 68. I don't know what you call it, plays, views, whatever. So that's cool. But oh my gosh, I had somewhere to go with this and I'm already losing it. Podcast plays, views, episodes. I don't know, you guys. Oh, but yeah, so I'm back on Twitter. I've lost 2 or 3 followers because I pretty much I didn't know how I was going to release all of those tweets. And I got to like the last 30 or 40 and I'm like, I'm just going to push them all out. And so I'm sure people just got super annoyed because all they saw were nothing but my posts on there. But I had some type of one thing I'm going to do too on Instagram for the month of July. And again, I don't know why, but for the month of July, I am going to, I made a personal challenge to post something on Instagram every single day for the month of July. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to post something on Instagram every single day for the month of July. Yesterday's post, Stranger Things, the second part of the season came out for, what is it, season 4 of Stranger Things. So that was, that's a show that I did not actually ever think that I was going to get into, but needless to say, it happened, got into it. It's been like, I'm obsessed with the 1980s, no idea why. But it's just like such a cool show. There are parts of it that I feel like I don't want to say copies, but it takes concepts, ideas, aspects of other things that I've seen before, and it plays into that. especially like this season, it's reminded me a lot of Nightmare on Elm Street in the fact that like you're asleep and the villain is in this different realm. And I don't know, it just gave me like Nightmare on Elm Street type vibes to it. But yeah, so that was yesterday. Here, I guess I can pull this up. That was yesterday for the first day of my like Instagram post challenge was a little post on Stranger Things. Had some sushi and watched Stranger Things. So here, let me pop this back up. And yeah, so that was post number 1. You know what? Here's what we're gonna do. For post number 2, let's do this. I'm gonna take a picture, and this will be the post for post number 2. So we got to make it look aesthetically pleasing. So I got to make it look like this is way more involved than it really is. Here, we'll put this there. We'll put my little microphone bag right here. Put my water here. Let me get some water. Okay. And back up a little bit. Got to make this look really good. Okay. Let's take a look. Let's see. So we're all doing this together. So I'm glad you guys could be here for a part of it. Cool. I like it. We're going to go with it. We'll post that one after this episode's done. But yeah, so I don't know exactly what my reasoning behind it is, but I'm just like, yeah, I think I'm going to try to just post content on Instagram, at least one post every single day for the month of July. And yeah, so we've got day 2 down. So I appreciate that, you guys. If you're interested, follow me at the Roaming Colt. Yeah, but you want to talk about an episode about nothing. We're really achieving that with this episode, but NBA free agency is alive and well. As a Mavericks fan, we have lost Jalen Brunson, I guess, which is honestly, I'm not that irritated by it. I'm just very suspicious about what we're going to do next. Because like, I don't think the Mavs can go without making a move this offseason. Like, we traded for Christian Wood, which I think that's going to be a very, regardless of how that actually turns out, I'm good with it because we essentially traded 3 or 4 players like Sterling Brown, Trey Burke, Boban Marjanovic, and maybe that was it. But we just traded guys that we don't play for a guy that he probably should and will play. And the way I see it is, if he plays, great. If he doesn't, well, we just traded 3 guys we don't play for 1 guy we don't play, and I would like, that's fine for me. But what's interesting to me about this is how Brunson left, right? Mavs could have signed him for like 4 or 5 years for $55 million, whatever. Middle of the season, decided not to do it. His dad, who played for the Knicks before, was like, Jalen Brunson's dad is like his dad, his agent, and now his coach, because he accepted a job for the Knicks. And long story short, like, Brunson apparently chose the Knicks over us, but whatever. Did I want to pay him the 55 mil? Yeah, I think that would have been so sick to get him on like a Dorian Finney-Smith contract. But then paying him, I think we were going to offer him like 5 years for 100 mil or something, or 110 mil or something like that. But the Knicks are doing 4-year 105 or something. I would have felt like if he was on that contract, he would have had to perform like he did in the playoffs against Utah. Like, that would have to be his baseline for the rest of his career. And the fact that we don't have him at that, like, we didn't have to pay him at that level, I'm not heartbroken about it. I'm hoping we're going to get Dragic. My concern there is just the age thing. Like, we got JaVale McGee now. Again, we got him back. We just like seem to be like recycling our scraps. or recycling past free agent targets, which is kind of right in line with what the Mavs do. But you've got that going on, free agency in general. Kyrie opts in. 2 days later, Kevin Durant's like, yeah, I'm out of here. Requests a trade. Utah, according to Brian Windhorst, who somebody on Twitter described it perfectly. He's just like LeBron's, I don't know, stooge or something that finessed his way into an NBA gig, and that's hilariously accurate in my opinion. But no, I'm excited for NBA free agency just because like all of the big name stars sign their contract extensions with their teams, which is kind of boring. I had hoped we would have a shot at Beal or Levine, but it is what it is. But now with the whole KD Kyrie thing, and with whatever Utah decides to do with Gobert and Donovan Mitchell, like I think that there's still some big play that the Mavs can be a part of. I just don't know to what extent, but just seeing here on Twitter, KD only wants to play for Heat with Jimmy Butler, Kyle Lowry, and Bam Adebayo. So I don't know. You know what, guys? I think for this episode, where are we at? We're at like 15 minutes or so. This episode doesn't have to be insanely long. Like I said, we'll see if I end up deciding to post this or not. Honestly, what I'm doing right now is I'm scrolling through Twitter to see if there's anything that's gonna like make me talk about it. Oh, you know what? Here's one thing. So Supreme Court, a lot of people, I feel like just don't have an understanding of how the US government functions, right? So, and I did read this on Twitter earlier, and I'll get to this point in a second, but the Supreme Court rules on something based off of their interpretation of the law, right? And what we're seeing right now in the multiple decisions that the Supreme Court has come out with is basically a shift in taking power away from the federal government and distributing it or redistributing it back to the states. Okay, when the country was founded, that was the whole premise, that's what was going to happen. If the Constitution, which is our governing document, if it doesn't specifically state something, and when I say if it doesn't specifically state it, I'm saying if it doesn't specifically state it per the Supreme Court's interpretation, then it is deferred back to the individual states for their own interpretation. Okay, and that's the premise of the United States, and this is one way that our country differs from many other in the world, because yes, other countries have states or provinces or territories or whatever their term may be, but not all of them have this, not all countries have this system where if it's not explicit, then or if it's not specifically stated, then it goes to these individual regions, states, territories, what have you. Now, in other countries, it works the opposite way, right? Where it's just at a national level. And one thing that I am seeing as like a growing trend of like misunderstanding is that people are saying like, this is not the America that I signed up for. But like, again, that's how this country was founded, right? Now, one thing that I saw here on Twitter right before I did start this episode was something interesting about how since the Supreme Court's rulings have been coming out the last week or two, the Democratic Party has generated, I wish I could find this, has generated like, I don't want to say millions or billions because I honestly can't recall. So let me see if it's going to be pulled up here on my phone. No, it's not there. Darn. Democratic Party has just been taking tons and tons and tons, we'll just say, in like campaign donations or donations to the party itself. Now, this is interesting because a lot of people have, again, maybe not a lot, from what I have witnessed online, people are saying how you need to vote, that voting will solve all these problems, that these decisions are being made without us voting on them, okay? And it's really not about that, okay? Because court cases are essentially challenges to laws that are in place right now. And then the court comes in and they're interpreting the true meaning of whatever the law is and taking that interpretation and applying it to these scenarios or cases, right? Now, you can elect people that have whatever beliefs you have, or however, for whatever reason you're going to vote for them. You can do that. You're free to do that. But if you want to see changes, you have to essentially amend the Constitution, okay? And that process can happen a lot of ways. I would say if you're going to just choose to vote for somebody and hope that they're going to do it for you, like, that's a problem. But yeah, Supreme Court, they've been busy. Essentially, they're diverting power back to the states. Some people like it, some people don't. It's been a lot to talk about, but yeah, I don't know. War in Ukraine is still going on. Let's take a look at how many days. Day calculator. Let's see how many days this war has been going on. It started February 24th of this year. I think we're at like 125 days or something. And we're going to go to today. 129 days of the war. Complete garbage. Stranger Things, you guys, I'm sorry, like, I'll come back to this because it pulled up again. Stranger Things. This show is really cool because, again, I love the like throwback to the 80s and the way that they like integrate or implement like just little snippets of the 1980s into it, like the finer details. Like, I just appreciate that. But what was crazy to me was how this second part, or part 2 to season 4, it was 2 episodes, which to me was like a huge disappointment, but it was nice because we finished it in one night. But it's unique in the fact that like they shoot it however they want. There's no like, we're gonna do 15 episode seasons and the season finale will be, 20 minutes longer. No, the last episode was over almost 2.5 hours long. Like, it was the length of a movie, sizable movie. But they just do it however they want. And honestly, I thought that I was expecting this to be over. I thought season 4 was going to be the end, mainly because I'm just waiting for all of these kids to want to go branch out and do their own like acting gigs. But I guess that's not the case, because the way that it ended, they're definitely setting up for, at least one more season. I'm not going to give any spoilers, but the show's pretty unpredictable too in some ways. Like I said, I thought they were gonna wrap it up and conclude it. I don't think that's the case. But even like people dying and people not dying, like that was intense. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's an awesome series. I saw that they're gonna do a Squid Game, like season 2 or something. I'm not about that life. I watched Squid Game. I thought it was, it was what it was, but I don't know. It is what it is. It was what it was, and it is what it is now. But whoa, what is this? 5 people were killed and 44 others injured in a 6.3 earthquake in southern Iraq on Saturday. Wow. Yeah, I don't know, you guys. I think we'll leave it wrapped up where it is. Just want to see if nothing else is gonna come in here. Oh, Chad Johnson or Ocho Cinco. I tweeted at him, betting him. I bet Chad Johnson, Chad Ocho Cinco. I bet him $1,000 that he would not cash at me $2,000. So I'm just saying, if he does, what a guy. If he doesn't, I win the bet. So you can't lose there, right? But if you've made it this far in the episode, I just have to say thank you. Keep an eye out on my Instagram. We'll see what the rest of the posts are. This episode, you know, what did we talk about really? What did we really talk about? We talked about Stranger Things. We talked about NBA free agency, and we talked about like the government. Yeah, that's about it. The episode on July 4th, I think that'll be a good one. I think, you know, I think if I don't really actually have a topic that I want to just hammer home, I think these mini series that I'm doing are kind of the way to go. I think what I'll do, we're going to do the overrated, underrated holidays for 4th of July. That's what we're going to do. Now my brain's going. Now I'm getting a million ideas. Because I'm thinking like, yo, we could do for 4th of July, I could do tons of stuff. We could do like ranking the top 10 presidents, or 1-5-10 challenge on various like US things. Or yeah, I don't know. But we're gonna do the holiday one. I think the holiday one will be cool. I'll give you overrated, underrated. And then maybe at the end of that video episode, I'll do like my favorite top 3 favorite holidays or something. That'll be cool. We'll do that, you guys. Enjoy the 4th of July weekend. Stay safe. And above all else, I want to make sure that you guys all know this very important fact, all right? If you're ever going